you started talking a little bit about shotgun barrel with water in it, and that was kind of the other kind of eye-opening thing for me being around the team is how much you use water to defeat things.
Yes.
It's
Solution
so
is the solution.
and it's not
They
even,
want to be
not even-
firefighters. That's why.
It's right. That's right. It's because my burning urge to be a fireman. Water.
Yeah, you're just gonna put out the fire at a
fight the
much
beast.
much higher rate of speed. Why water?
Water can't be compressed, and all the. With the bomb squads, there's and working with the government, there's a lot of people on the back end, a lot of really smart people doing a lot of really good research for us, and coming up with all these crazy tools for us to use. And water is a great thing. Like you shoot water into a backpack. It's just a shotgun blank. Just different quantities of powder in them, different strengths of them, and we can shoot into a backpack and rip open that backpack, and whatever's in that backpack is going to come flying out, and take care of it. That way it's water too, so it's not shooting fire into it. Right? Shooting fire into bombs is usually a bad idea. And so we just do it that way, and it keeps things safer, and it's cheap. There's water everywhere.
It's ubiquitous.
It's pretty impressive if you haven't seen it. Even like when we use like those Aquafina vials like Caleb has, like we can put a block of some C4 in there, not a block of C4, a pound full of explosives, and put that next to a backpack, and just the water coming out from that will
take it apart. And it's that really kind of surprised me. It's like water shot on everything. Like, water? What are you doing? But just shaping water, and you can do so much with it. It's really
a lot of
really
our explosive tools that aren't shotgun related. We use water, and we can shape water into jets of water that will go through the sides of cars and take everything out.
Yeah, that's a great point. You were, was it last summer? You guys were shooting very, very detailed shots through cars and taking out things on front seats, and it was again all water, and it's just so ubiquitous. It's everywhere, and you don't think about it, but that's
the scientists, the government scientists have really perfected ways for us to like even use it more efficiently and in longer ranges, so we don't have to get so close when we set it up, or just amazing amounts of things they can do.
To your point, the other kind of eye-opening thing was how you guys have charts for charts, right? I mean, there's data on you want to shoot this particular thing. Somebody's already tried it somewhere, and you just have to go reference it in this chart, and it'll tell you how to defeat it.
So everything that we do has already been characterized by the government, so that way they know it works, and then they give us the bulletins of what we can do and how to do it, and the standoffs and everything like that. We don't go out and just,
guess
like, ooh, okay, let's see what this happens with. We don't do that. That way, it's been proven, and they've done so many tests, and it works, and it's been refined over the years. Some things they'll find out a better way to do it. There's constantly people down at the Hazardous Devices School. There's a guy down there that he just does stuff. Our 12 gauge shotguns are called PANs, disruptors. He'll go down there, and his job is just to refine things with the PAN disruptor. And he goes down there and finds different ways to do it, different shots, different standoffs. And they're just
job.
Yeah, it's his job.
That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
What do you mean?
For a year.
I shoot things.
Yeah, I shoot things.
With what? Stuff,
things.
Whatever I have laying around.
Whatever I have laying. Yeah. It's pretty impressive when you go down there, the amount of
Can only imagine.
the amount of stuff that they have. Yeah, there's just a giant warehouse full of backpacks. But yeah, so everything they do is refined. All the scientists, we just, like I said, we don't willy-nilly go out there and just say, hey, we're going to do this. Everything's refined, so that way it's been tried, it's been tested, and then it gets pushed out to all the bomb squads all across the country, and that way everyone's on the same page with what they're doing.
Yeah. The other thing that's been eye-opening for me is how well you guys share information. If you come across a problem and somebody has figured out a solution, like the entire vastness of the community knows how to make that tool. And, it could be the simplest of things with some duct tape and some pieces of plastic, or it doesn't have to be this real complicated thing. Some people do actually machined things or 3D printed things, or like really clever solutions to problems. But you got a whole bucket of homemade.
They have a program out there. I think I'm not through if it's one of the government offices has it where. Yeah. If you're in a bomb squad and you figure out a better way to 3D print a way to to make anything, a doorstop, a way to mount the rad equipment to your robot, X-ray generator equipment, not making it, but like different ways to mount stuff, and, or just ways, hey, like one thing we did, someone came up with a way using like those big like fishing hooks to open up car doors with a robot, put in with bungee cords. And so they developed that and they sent it to this government office who tests it and then verifies, that's a good way to work. And then they send out the instructions of how to do it to all the bomb squads. So you can go and do it, because I know this is shocking, but bomb equipment's very expensive. Anything you put bomb squad or SWAT or tactical
or
on it, medicine on it. Yeah.
Paint it black and it's expensive, right?
Yeah. The price goes up astronomically.
But the amount of information sharing is really quite remarkable. I mean, I thought we did a good job in the fire and EMS services, and it's like, oh wow, it's like.
And the bomb community itself is very small. It's very small. You go to I went to training in the middle of New Mexico, and there was a guy I knew from another class. You go to all these training classes and you get to know people. It's very small. There's not a lot of us around, because it's expensive to train all of us. It's expensive to keep the training going, but there's not a lot of us out, so we all kind of are pretty close knit and share information.
Sure. Definitely a needed resource, though. I mean, there's no question about that. Like, I mean, it's definitely needed.
The group that just left here was talking about cartels.
Yes.
And I jokingly said, our next guest is going to wind up talking about cartels. In the U.S., often we just kind of put blinders onto what goes on in the rest of the world, but
I mean,
there's some really bad stuff out there in the hands of some really bad people.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not an analyst. I'm not anything like that. Like, anything that I've seen about cartels has been through people that have, given me briefings about it, or just open source stuff. But they're interesting, and they have unlimited wealth. Yeah. So there's a lot of and a lot of it's infighting between the cartels and making their own explosives, and making their own grenades, making their own 40mm grenades, making all kinds of stuff. It's quite crazy, and sometimes it translates across the border.
Right.
It's happened.
But none of that happens in Ohio, right?
No. No.
Officially.
Yeah, officially, no. If there's someone from Canada that can throw a grenade from the Canadian border into Menor, then
they just have to float it across the
line. Apparently, it just has to float, right?
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, it's just like anything else. I mean, they have unlimited resources. They're fighting each other. They're better equipped than probably most countries' armies and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's a danger. I mean, it's just right over the southern border. So I mean, it could come across. It could come across. It could come across just by people telling each other about it and how to make it and stuff like that. So. No, up here it's not as prevalent, but the bomb squad guys I talk down in the border, I mean, they definitely have issues with stuff down there.
Huh. They probably deal with much different things. Like it sounds like we do a lot of like fireworks stuff, some old or decommissioned military stuff, but don't have to deal with a bad actor like a cartel or terrorism.
Yeah,
that are actively trying to cause harm or cause difficulties or. For people.
Yeah, thank God we haven't had to deal with that up here. I mean, we deal with other things, like you said, the fireworks and stuff, old dynamite. I guarantee there's a shed or a barn in one of these counties that has a case of old dynamite in it that we'll have to deal with one day.
There's probably 70 different barns with dynamite that you guys don't know about.
Yeah, probably. Every time I drive down through the county, I'm like, oh, God. Looking at that barn, I'm like, I'll probably be there one day. But yeah, we've gotten very lucky in this area that we don't have to deal with that. We've had some other situations we've had, but nothing close to like some of the instances that have gone on.
We talked a little bit about the robots and some of the other tools other than the tech and the tech's brain themselves solving problems. What's the involvement of the dog?
So we have a explosive detection canine. We use them a lot for when we have to do sweeps of, if the president or dignitaries come in, we always grab a bunch of canines and sweep the area and see if they hit on anything. Sometimes it depends Depends on there's suspicious packages and there's unattended packages. If it's an unattended package, that's just kind of left somewhere with no threats or anything like that, we might grab the dog and have the dog take a sniff of it. We do a lot, like at the D-Day Caveat event, we take the dogs out there and have them kind of sweep the area before the public gets in, which is interesting because it's funny. Everyone out there is always touching ammunition stuff, and then they always go to the ATM and touch all the buttons, and the dogs hit on the ATM every time they go past it. Because everyone's got a little bit of gunpowder on their fingers, and they're getting money out.
I can't imagine money probably also has a lot of gunpowder residue on it too.
It doesn't hit on money.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah. But the numbers on the machine, it always hits on the numbers on the
Their
machine.
credit card does.
Yeah.
Well, I was worried. I was visiting a friend down in Atlanta, and I was coming up from Atlanta. We went shooting that day, and I'm like, I hope I don't get stopped, because if I get stopped, they're gonna swab me, and I'm gonna have it on my hands, and probably a bad decision on my part. But
yeah, every time we're training down in Alabama, they've in the past the government's now tried to make it like the Fridays. If you're flying out, now they try to do a lot of explosive stuff, so you can actually make it through the
TSA,
airport, on your way back.
I swear I was just coming back from bomb
Yeah.
school.
I always would change and throw that stuff in my luggage and be like, I'll kind of explain it if I get stopped. So
you see what has happened was.
I
I was here to learn how to make the bomb. I'm a good guy.
I did get stopped once in the Huntsville airport, and they went through I don't know why, they hit on my carry-on bag, and I had a bunch of books. I was down at a homemade explosive school. I had a bunch of books. They're looking through my books, and it's like the chemistry of explosives. Like, can I just talk to your boss? Yeah. I explained. She was really nice. I talked to her,
but it hit because there was a trace on there.
I don't know. I think
I
I might just been the one random person where they
random
did
guy.
it. Yeah, I don't know what they found. They didn't find anything in my backpack. It wasn't very interesting except for all the books in there.
all the books are like
All the books on how to build a bomb.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about this in the last. I didn't bring it up, but they were talking about substance use disorder and having them getting caught with like paraphernalia and stuff. But even as me as a physician, like I worry about. I have syringes in my car. I've got needles in my car. It's a side effect of what my job is. Probably, I know you've got medications probably in your UH vehicle. I've got Narcan in my car in case I got stop to bleed kits. I've got things that are appropriate to my job. But if I am under suspicion of anything, I got a lot of explaining to do of like, why do you have these things in your possession? Which I'm allowed to have, but is a little suspicious. Again, books coming through.
We usually, that's just rare.
Welcome to the list.
Yeah. Now I just have everything shipped back. I'm going to just ship it back. I don't want to deal with it. Or someone's driving. I'm like, here, just drive. I'll come pick it up at your house.
So we talked about some of the things like don't do's for whomever the first responder might be, fire department, other police departments, whomever may come up on it. Obviously, photo if it's safe.
Yeah.
Leave it alone. Don't put stuff on
Yeah,
it.
if
Don't
you've
drag
already
it,
gone-
don't drag it. Don't move it. Those are the don'ts. How about some of the do's? What would be some things that were helpful? And let's just again focus this towards fire and EMS that would be beneficial to support a call out and bomb squad activity.
Just do not touch it. Is that a do or is that still under a don't?
I
don't know. Let's just just keep people back. Keep people back as reasonable as you can. We don't like people going up and touching it and everything like that. And like you said, if you've already been down there and you didn't take a picture, don't go back down there and take a picture. Best description you can get, if you're far enough away and you can give us a description with binoculars or something like that. And I've actually had people like snap a photograph of it through binoculars. You can do that and just, keep the area, give us a good description and keep that area, cordoned off until we get there.
Imagine keeping people that have information around would be helpful.
Yes, that's actually key. The other thing is like we've had people take pictures of something and like they'll zoom in and oh my God, that's the biggest stick of dynamite I've ever seen, and there's no scale of it, and you get there and it's literally like a half an inch big. You're like, no, I guess that wasn't gonna destroy the earth.
So something for scale, if you get a picture, is helpful, but don't put something next to it.
Just don't. Yeah,
and-
like don't take. There's no reason for you to take an undue risk to yourself when we're just gonna send a robot down to do it. That's the big thing. A lot of people have body cameras on now. Well, if you have your body camera on now, it's going to be on there. We don't recommend you having a body camera down on a suspicious package, though, because even the body cameras have been sound to set off, radio frequency. They could set something off, but just don't take any risks that you don't have to, because we're not gonna take risks that we have to. We're gonna send a robot down. So we have drones. You can go 150 feet above it, and with these drone technology now, and zoom in, so you can read the packing slip
serial
off of
number
it now.
or something. Yeah.
So there's no with technology, there's not a lot of reason for people to take undue risks that they don't have to now.
What are some things that you would look at that you'd want, whether it's a first responder, EMT, firefighter, even cop, be like, this is concerning to me that I'd want to call you? Like, are there like certain signs that you teach people, like, oh, if you see this,
Some recognition.
Yeah, I mean, if you see a box with an antenna on it, I'd run as fast as I can the other way and then call us. Stuff like that. I mean, we've all been around long enough to say that, hey, you guys are here. This is your home base. If you see a package out there that's not supposed to be there and you didn't order and it's leaking stuff out the side of it, that's probably something you're like, that's what I tell people all the time. You know your area. You know what it's supposed to be. I don't know your business. I don't know if that box is supposed to be there, if that's whatever, if that's suspicious, like, you got to let us know. And that's why I tell people, if it makes you feel suspicious, then depending on what it is, you can call us and make a determination of what response we give.
Right.
But it's hard for me just to say, because I'm not everywhere. I always tell people, do what is going to make you sleep at night. If you're like, hey, I should probably call them on this, and then you go back and forth, and then you decide not to do it, and it's still sitting out there, and you're up at night,
Probably call.
Yeah, we have
safe to over triage.
Exactly. I'd rather come out and it be absolutely nothing than to have to read about something that like exploded in the morning or something like that. Like we have no problem calling out. That's what we're here for. That's what we have all this. Like all the stuff most of our equipment's been bought in government grants. Like that's why we have this stuff,
right?
Is to keep people safe and to come out and respond and to take care of things safely so no one else has to get involved. Like that's the whole premise of all these robots and stuff, is to keep everybody safe.
Well, some of those tools that just sparked a parallel discussion here was a non-explosive. What was it? Some propane tanks or something that were they had all deformed and were a local law enforcement agency.
Yes.
Ask for your help in venting this safely with said tools, right?
Yes, we've done that before. We've gotten calls from a couple companies before. Like we have these propane tanks. They're rusted shut. They're full of propane. What do we do with them? And we help them out with that.
Yeah, how do you safely take care of it? Well,
I could do a lot of damage with a 15-pound propane tank, let alone like a 500-gallon propane tank that sits on some side of the house that they put the blasting caps next to. But
yeah, that's usually a good place to put them.
I think from the medicine standpoint of, if you're around a blast, like blast injuries are a thing, you can survive. But if you're around a blast, other than a planned firework, right? Like we've all been at fireworks, we feel it in our chest, we feel the concussion shock waves. Those are okay and normal. Yeah. But if you're around a blast and you do feel that concussion, it's worthwhile to come to the emergency department to be checked out. So we can look in your ears, we can do our chest x-ray, we can evaluate you to make sure you don't have that hollow viscous injury, because that can be life-threatening. And you can get a significant injury from those blast pressures.
Yes. Well, it's not like the movies. If you're getting blown off your feet by a blast, that is
very concerning.
You're not getting back up. That's usually a bad thing.
That's a great point. That's kind of standard procedures. If there was an event, such explosive event, they're going to the hospital even if they're well, because they're getting a full body CT, right?
Yep.
And you're just looking at that from the perspective of the blast wave itself.
Correct.
We're not even talking about any anything it may have picked up along the way, either intentional or unintentional, shrapnel or any secondary injury from that. But nevertheless,
Or contamination if it was a biological,
Absolutely,
if it was
sure.
a radiological,
Sure.
and if we're talking about these incidents that happen, we have other utilities that we can mobilize from a medicine standpoint. That if you have something that was positive that set off your radiation detectors, we've got other radiation detectors we can bring to the hospital and then screen you and do our hazmat decon of you either on scene or at the hospital to make you as safe as possible before we take care of you, so that way we don't contaminate the healthcare system with what happened.
I know in this team we wind up disposing of a lot of ammunition.
Yes.
How is that a common practice for all teams, or is that just something regionally we've kind of absorbed?
We have the proper trailer to use. Not every team has that trailer. We have the trailer that will burn up to 50 cal non-armor piercing ammunition. It's just kind of something we have adopted. I don't think every team has it, but we do it. So if a local police department gets a bunch of old, like we had a bunch turned in from a fire that was just in really bad shape, and like you can't shoot it. What are you going to do with it? We don't want people throwing it away.
Sure.
So we can get rid of it safely. But that's another one of our responsibilities is we take care of that.
Yeah. Buckets
And buckets
of it.
buckets and buckets of it. It's a
And
slow process getting rid of it.
That has been another kind of eye-opening thing. It's like, where's all this ammo come from?
There's a lot of ammo.
There
a lot of
is.
ammo that's in really bad shape.
I mean, I kind of sum this up. Don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
If you said, "Oh, that's interesting," took a picture of it, then got concerned, share that picture. Keep people around that might know some more information. For sure, if that's like a flea market, the guy might be selling it.
That's actually a good point, because we might be an hour and a half, 2 hours away trying to get to you guys, and then the person that found it's gone, or hey, they just left, we let them go. Well, we would like to question them further on what what was the origin of this?
Expect?
Where did this come from?
That's a hand grenade I unmounted from a mount that was on.
Yeah.
There's a hole in the bottom of it. You're going to be less concerned about that
Yes.
being an active grenade than being.
Well, you used to be able to buy the dummies at the bomber club
yeah,
in Cleveland. It was
you can buy. There's you can go to gun shows and buy the grenade bodies. There's a lot of replicas out there and stuff like that, and they're you can legally have them. But there's bad people out there that modify those, and that's where it becomes concerning. Or like we said, we've touched on earlier, like a relative came home from the war and has one home, and a lot of people say, well, it was painted. That's another thing. People always say, like, well, it's painted blue. That blue means training. Blue does not always mean training. And then a lot of people too would actually paint stuff blue to make it look like it's training to get it home. When it wasn't training.
It wasn't, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Another thing that just popped into my mind, and without getting into the specifics of the technology for hopefully very obvious reasons, if you guys are concerned about a radio remote activated device, you've got methods to counteract that, but that has implications to anybody in the general vicinity.
Yes. Trying to think how I could put this.
Yeah, no, I offered it up in that manner, so
there might be some service disruptions.
Yes. So from an EMS standpoint, there are certain scenarios, certain things that happen that you will not have radios or cell phones.
Radio or cell phones, right?
Yes.
So some of the things that we rely on or we kind of take for granted on a scene may go away in a hurry if.
Yeah, and that'll be
a certain
something,
set of circumstances. You would know about that.
Yes, we would. There's that's not very common, but it's something that we would definitely have you guys talk to you guys about and have things set up. But yeah, there are certain scenarios where that would not happen, because anyone who has a police scanner, here's the firemen. Firemen love to talk on the radio about everything, about who's in command. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm like, just put water on it. It'll go out. So that's one thing you gotta know, is that you're not gonna have that all the time.
But yeah, that's again very very rare situation.
Yes.
But and hopefully well communicated. But
yes, that will be well communicated with everyone around it if that ever happens. Because I know you guys have to have some kind of protocol, I think, to reach back to doctors for meds and stuff like that.
There are situations.
I could be wrong. I don't know.
No. There are situations where that's, I don't say a necessity, but it's
Maybe
nice to have. And we've already had that discussion with our medical director. Like, all right, what's the rules of engagement? If we called and said, hey, we're not going to be able to get a hold of you, he's also going to show up.
Yeah.
But that aside, right?
Just save me. I won't sue you.
Thank you.
Well, hey, man, it's been a
Yes.
been a pleasure. This is a little kind of parallel topic for us from what we normally do, but I think there'll be some genuine interest from.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope people enjoyed.
Well, and
hearing
as
about
we're recording this, we're coming up on 4th of July, and we're coming up
Yes.
with fireworks.
Yeah, the
Yes.
fireworks stop. Yeah, no,
the
that's
fireworks topic is big. Fireworks. We just we don't like dealing with that. It's just bad. I mean, people are going to do it. I just hope. I hope they, whether it's legal or not, people are going to do it, and then hopefully they use some common sense. And the farther back you are, the better. So.
Standoff distance is very important.
Standoff distance is extremely important. We have strict standoff distances for everything that we use, and even different size shells that we have to get rid of. We have strict standoff distances, and yeah, I don't like being very close to things. So,
The size of your wick matters.
yes. We people don't. I mean, people don't realize that too. Like just because it's this big doesn't mean it's going to give you 5 seconds.
5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's some of those wicks that we've had. Like just they're gone. So.
All right. Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you,
Brian.
guys.
We appreciate you stopping by and talking to us about this, and I look forward to the live. So,
Thanks.
take care.
Thank you.
Bye.